What's up guys, Harsh here back with the video, and today we'll be making this awesome gimbal setup for your action camera. Now this can be a GoPro, DJI Osmo or any other action camera. So this will be a step-by-step guide on how to build this awesome gimbal. So without wasting any time, let's get started. Okay, let's start with the hardest part, which is assembling this gimbal, which comes in a lot of pieces. So this is a drone gimbal that you can buy in a shop where they sell drone parts. So you can just type in drone gimbal and this will be the first result that shows up. So when you receive your kit, you will get this main board over here, which is the main control board, and it can control 3-axis gimbal, but for this particular setup that I have over here, it can only control 2 axis, which is the roll and the pitch. So as you can see, it is labeled here yaw, roll and pitch. So these are the only 2 pins that will be working on this, but I think when you program this board with this mini USB to do a 3-axis gimbal, but we don't have stuff for that, so we will just leave it as it is. Then we have a gyroscope over here. As you can see, it is very tiny, and this will actually go under the camera and make sure that the camera is leveled at all times, and make sure to send the necessary signals that are required by the controller over here, because the controller will not move itself, so it will need some sort of data to make sure that the camera is upright. Then we have different pieces over here to assemble the gimbal, and I have made a video on this, but in this video I'll be showing you how to assemble this part as well. And the last part is our motors. So these are 90 kilowatt motors. So as you can see at the side, it is written 90 kV, and usually in drones you will see something like 1200 kV motor or 200 kV motor in racing drones, but for this it is 90 kV. And I have soldered these long wires to them so that they can easily reach the bottom portion to where the controller is mounted. And one the good thing about this controller is that it is powered by 12 volts from these 2 pins over here. As you can see, let me just flip it around and you will be able to see it is labeled as 12 volt plus and ground, and there are a number of 5 volt outputs here and there. So this is a pretty nice board, and you will get some pins with it, but I have removed all of them because I need this as low profile as possible. So now let's start with our frame building. So first of all, what we have to do is mount our motors. So I will take the wires first, and this is our motor mount, and there is a little cutout over here for the wires to go through, so I will just pass them through first and then slide it this way to the motor, and as you can see it fits perfectly. And then I can just use the supplied screws and screw this motor in place. Then I will do the same thing with the other motor as well. So as you can see, both our motors are done. Now we can move on to the next part, which is attaching the outside frame to these motors. So as you can see, we have 3 screws over here, 3 screw holes, and we will mount this bracket onto the motor mount. So this will go on just like this, and then screw it in place. Now for the next part, we will attach these brackets onto the motor. So these also have 4 holes, but only 3 are for the screws. As you can see, it is one in the center, which is the big one, but they will go just like this. As you can see, it is a perfect fit. So this is the benefit when you buy it as a kit. You will get all the parts that fits perfectly with each other. So just align the holes and then use the tiny screws that are supplied with the kit, and then screw them in place. We now need to attach these two together, so just put them in L shape and then mount them together. Now we have only this piece left, and this bed or plate, whatever you like to call it, will go onto there, and this plate will actually hold our camera. So let's mount it over here and then we are done. Now you can see the picture of the gimbal. So this will be just like this, and the camera will go on here and then balance it just like this. And if you watch this video carefully, we are forgetting something, which is the gyroscope that goes on to the bottom over here. So let's just take our gyroscope, and this comes with this nifty cable that directly goes or plugs into the main control board. So I'll just temporarily take it out, take some double-sided tape, put it over it, and then just place it so the wires are going outwards. And just like this, our gimbal assembly is completed and ready to be mounted onto the frame. Here's our wooden plank, so let me just apply some tape to it, and it is a very strong tape, and it should be, because it has to handle a lot of weight. So I'll just take it like so and then trim the excess off with my scissors and press it in firmly. Make sure it is stuck to the board securely, because if it fall out, and then you are in serious trouble. Now let's do a test fit first. Make sure it is everything okay to be placed. So once you are happy with that, you can just take out the layer that protects the adhesive side and make sure it is straight, and then gently place it into its position. Okay, so as you can see, it securely holds it in place, but let's be sure and put some zip tie over it to make sure it does not move at all. So as you can see, our top gimbal portion is done. So we have total freedom over on this end and total freedom on this end as well. So make sure that you leave excess wire for this purpose, and this way you will be able to make sure that nothing restricts the motion. Okay, so at this point you are basically done. You have your basic setup completed, and if you want to really keep it like that, then you can do that. You are completely free to do that. So let's just test it really quickly. I have temporarily soldered a GST plug to power this on, and I have also connected the gyroscope in the section over here, as you can see. So it will basically go just like that, and there was some problem with my soldering, so I have to just remove all that soldering and put some bent pins on them and put header pins onto the wires and connect them like this. And I really find this very convenient, because you can just take them out just like that and just plug them in whenever you like. But I think we will not be doing this for a very long time, so just keep it that way. Now let's finally power up our system. So this is just a temporary fix. I will be soldering the wires directly to the board with a switch. So one for the power and one for the ground. So as you can see, it is trying to make itself stable, and at this point it is very stable, and you have to test this with a weight on it. So I have put my camera onto it, that way it has a weight on, because when you remove the weight, it sometimes jiggles a lot, which may damage the board or the gyroscope beneath it. So make sure that you have some sort of weight on top, or you just put the camera. Okay, now we can finally put this together and make it more presentable. So I have drilled 2 holes on the bottom side over here, so that I can mount it to any sort of base or whatever I like. And I will be using this wooden box that I glued together from some ply, and as you can see, I've drilled a hole over here for all the wires to pass through it, and this will go just like this on this side, and then all the wires can go through here. So let's just put it together and make sure that everything is lined up properly. As you can see, it is fairly secure, and if I want to keep it upright, I can just place it on the table just like so, and it will stay that way. Now I can just take all of the wires and then pass them through this little hole. And after adding the switch, we can finally close everything up. So let's just connect our main motor to the board. So just remember which pin is which, otherwise there will be some errors in your gimbal, so just keep that in mind. And once you're happy with everything, let's just put some batteries in, turn on switch, and see if this still functions or not, because in this field you really don't know what you can mess up in every single step. So just double check everything. So everything is working fine. Now we can just put this in a secure space and then put the battery inside. And then we can finally close this panel off. And now we are ready to shoot some awesome videos with this awesome gimbal. So there you guys, you have successfully created a camera gimbal for your action camera, and hopefully this video helps you a lot in your making process. And if it doesn't, please leave a comment on how we can improve. So thanks for watching guys, please like, subscribe and share, and I will see you all later.